fans and freaks, welcome to the J.Cole show. We're in the studio. We got Asa Zimbabwe and we got Nails, the odd fellow, up in the back here. Come on in, man. Shut the door.
Hold on.
Alright. So this is something new that we're adding to the show. This is like a little video element to the whole podcast thing. I've been trying to figure out a way to merge these two things. We used to do video all the time, and it didn't really work out. It took me like 2 weeks to edit a video, and you kind of want to get the show out quickly. So we're gonna just kind of like
get you some iMovie going, man.
We're gonna like
I'll help you edit the video.
Okay.
I also enjoy racquetball.
Racquetball. Excellent. I'm gonna record my screen here, and then we'll mix that in after. So we've got these funny articles I picked out.
Oh God.
So this I picked out too.
Oh wait, hey, you missed a spot here. Yeah. Is that why your teeth are yellow?
Yeah.
Still salty.
Oh, I can smell it from here. I can only imagine what it smells like inside the mask.
Like
it's supposed to be getting hot in there, dude.
It is hot in there.
Yeah.
It smells like a petunia.
So first up, I'm going to move that cup so people can see me. Because I'm all about me.
Yeah.
I'm all vain.
You are the most important person in the world.
That's right. In my world.
Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to step up.
Okay, so we're just going to read over some of these articles that I picked out and see what you guys have to say about them.
Alright.
So this is what's happening in the world today. Vodka-soaked tampons. A disturbing new trend. Both teen girls and boys are trying to get drunk faster, but the consequences can be deadly. So, if you drink booze, your stomach gets to a point where you're just like, oh, I can't do it, and you fucking barf it all out everywhere.
So,
but if you stick it in your ass or in your vagina, then you don't feel any of that, and you get drunk like this, and then the kids are doing it.
It's kind of like this.
It's kind of like this.
What is why is it so deadly? Is it
because
the new version of toxic shock syndrome? Or
you get like your belly pukes out the booze, but like inside your butt or your vagina, it doesn't have that. It doesn't have that reflex.
Know how to take a shit?
No, it doesn't have the reflex to like get the poison out, and so people are getting alcohol poisoning and dying from it.
Sounds like something I might want to get into.
Hey.
Or get into you.
Yeah.
Hey-yo.
What will I think of next? Yeah, I saw they were doing it at school because then nobody can smell the booze on them.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Wild. That's fucking. It is disturbing.
The things that kids are doing these days to get a little fucking buzz on.
Whatever happened to going outside or going out back and smoking weed and then just coming in and being high? You gotta be drunk at school now?
Yeah, I would never want to be drunk at school.
I don't think I would want to be drunk at school.
No, that's like the last thing I would want.
It sounds pretty uncomfortable.
I don't like.
Well, really?
Booze isn't that good.
How can you sit there and listen to someone talk with a tampon in your ass?
Oh my God.
Not to mention, all these dudes have to like put tampons in their ass.
Oh God. That's just the slippery slope on so many levels.
It's the fact that they have to go to the store
and buy the
tampons as men.
For my girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know, checking out the sizes. Well,
is it a super ultra?
Really know.
I want the little small, what they call little IB ones.
Yeah, the OB.
The OB.
A gynecologist designed OB.
Really?
These tampons were designed by a bartender at a distillery.
These have maximum soaking effect that will get all the alcohol in there.
One guy's sitting there with vodka, the other guy's sitting there with tea. He's like, tea bag.
Tea bag.
Oh.
You know
I see, right? Maybe this is something.
Starting to miss that feeling in my ass. What else can I fit in there?
What else can I soak with booze and put in there?
Yeah, that's a slippery slope.
Can I get the weed?
Like that's just leading to all types of wrong things.
Can I put my joints up in my ass too? Does it work? Does that work? Or?
Only if you can inhale with your asshole.
God damn.
You'd have to like fart to get a little bit of upsuck to come back in, just to get one little puff.
You gotta push a little out if you want to get a little in.
Alright, next. Homeless man shot by LAPD. What the fuck? You guys watched that video, right?
I did watch
that. Was like a week ago.
Are police deadlier than terrorists?
Messed up shit. I'm gonna let you say this stuff because I'm Canadian, and I can't really talk bad about this awesome place that they've let me come stay at.
Why are you worried they're gonna throw you out?
Come and shoot you.
Fucking Canadians.
I'm not.
You let them in here, and all they do is complain about us shooting fucking homeless people.
What the fuck?
God damn it! We love these Canadians.
Who are you?
We're gonna shoot our fucking homeless people, and you're gonna shut up and love it.
You're gonna like it or get out.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to say what the guy was doing. If he was going for a gun, then well, I don't know.
Didn't
Maybe
the
that's
story
the thing
say
you have to
that
do.
he took the officer's gun off him?
They said he reached for his gun. The officer thought that the guy reached. But I looked at the video, and you see Buddy. He's just kind of. They're ruffling his blankets up and like, come on, get the fuck out of here. And they're kicking them all out and everything. He's like, what do you want, man? He went like that. He's like, get out of here. He's like
oh,
what do you
he
want?
reached for the gun and kill him.
He didn't reach for the gun. He turned around and kind of went like that. He was like, get out of here. Like, he didn't know who was kicking him or whatever. He's like, yeah, leave me alone.
I've been in that situation.
Boom, boom, boom. All the shots came out.
And that was the
I've been in that situation.
Huh?
The cop said I was reaching for his gun, and I was like, calm down, man, calm down.
Yeah.
Just because I'm high and have blood on my shirt, that doesn't mean I'm dying.
Wow.
in a wife beater with blood all over everywhere. He's like,
it was not looking well for me.
He's like, you don't ever reach for an officer's gun. You don't ever do that. But like, they didn't shoot us.
No, they didn't shoot us.
That's
You're
the difference
lucky.
of Canada.
No. Yeah.
I mean, here that happens all too often. I think I remember back to Amadou Diallo was the real famous one. He got shot 41 times by several officers, and he turned out was unarmed, and he was pulling out his wallet. And you'll hear that echoed in I think isn't it on one of Jeru's albums? You want my license and registration?
Yeah.
I'm reaching into my pocket for my wallet. Like, don't fucking shoot me. Jesus Christ.
When they pulled him over at a traffic stop or whatever. Yeah.
I think Canadians just don't do it because we don't have the budget for the bullets.
No, we don't.
We don't have bullet budget.
Bullets are expensive.
They are.
So what are you going to do with all your homeless people if you can't shoot them?
Yeah, we're in the tasers.
Tasers now,
No, I think it's tragic. The police are just mowing down too many people. But they're in a high-stress job, and God damn, it's just an ugly situation. I don't know that there's a right or wrong.
I try to
answer
put myself in that guy's shoes, and I'm trying to think like, okay, maybe I've been shot at before by someone like this. Maybe I've been cut or stabbed, or like, you don't know what that guy's been through.
What they've gone through, yeah.
Like, you don't know what his reaction is to things like that. So it's like, maybe
you see both sides of it, sort of, I guess.
Try to.
Yeah, there's
Sadly.
two sides to that coin.
I don't want to say that.
And the moral
but
of the story is be fucking cautious around people with loaded fucking weapons.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
no sudden moves.
Yeah.
You know?
Very slowly, very...
Don't swing at somebody with a fucking cannon on their hip.
I'm gonna let you reach in my pocket and take my wallet out.
Exactly.
I'm not even doing it.
No sudden moves.
There are no drugs in my pocket. There's no.
And if there are, you can get them.
You can have everything.
I'm keeping my hands right here.
You probably missed it, but there was another big one recently in Oakland that they made a film out of, Fruitvale Station, where they shot the kid right through his back, and he was already handcuffed on the ground on his face. And the officer said that he had a stun on one side and a gun on the other, and thought he was reaching for the stun, and instead accidentally reached for the gun and shot him right through his back. And that's at the BART station right outside Oakland Airport, across from the Coliseum where the Oakland Raiders play.
Oh, man.
And there were huge
Right there.
protests across the country over that. And, you know, then the big question is, does the officer walk or not?
I don't know. Because they make the rules, I guess he walks.
Well, a lot of them are getting off.
Well, the guy getting shot in the back doesn't walk.
Crazy. No.
Anywhere.
No, he didn't walk anywhere. Yeah, I don't get this.
The dress.
What's the fucking
The
dress?
dress.
What is the dress?
What does that have to do with anything in anyone's life?
Exactly.
Exactly. I saw one.
We're talking about it.
Why was this in my face for like a week straight every day? This fucking dress.
I don't even understand it though. It's supposed to be a white dress, but it looks blue in somebody's photo. Like,
no, here's the thing.
Isn't that what Photoshop does?
It's a white dress, and that's a gold trim around it. And some humans, because of whatever is fucked up with their retinas and their eyes, they see blue and black. Like a blue here and a black here.
Well, why that's what I see. Does that mean my retina's fucked up?
What do you see? I see
it looks blue and black.
That's blue, and that's kind of goldish.
Yeah.
It's kind of
brown. I would say brown.
Yeah. There's another picture of this dress, and that's white as fuck, and that's bright
I saw another photo where it was white and gold.
Yeah, and so This is one of those stupid things where it says stare at it and you'll get it, and then a monster face pops up at the
Yeah, I saw that. It scared the shit out of me. They're like, stare at the dot, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, finally, it's gonna change colors before my eyes, and there's a demon screaming. Man, I almost swallowed my tongue when I saw that shit.
Yeah. I threw it up on Facebook, and I thought about it after. I'm like, I have a lot of old family on my list, and if my aunt, I don't want to give my aunt a heart attack.
Shit, it almost gave me a heart attack.
She was watching Jason's video on YouTube.
You killed her.
Killed her, Jay.
Jay, what have you done?
Psilocybin mushrooms are showing 80% success rate for quitting smoking.
Sounds like I need to get my hands on some mushrooms.
Yeah. Now, it's being done in really small doses, mind you. Like, they're not...
But how are they doing that? Are they getting you high and then hypnotizing you to stop, or just when you're on mushrooms you don't want a cigarette? Because I remember smoking a lot of mushrooms.
Mushrooms makes you want to smoke more.
That's what I thought.
I don't even smoke.
Stare at it.
I don't even smoke, but I just want to like smoke when I'm on mushrooms. So, like, you just want some kind of smoke passing through your lungs and coming back out again. Like, and then it's not enough. You just gotta chain smoke them.
Yeah, that's exactly what I remember. Smoking like crazy when I was tripping.
Yeah.
So how does this work? Did you look into this?
No, I didn't read it. I thought you guys read it.
It was an interesting headline. The consensus here is shrooms make you want to smoke.
Yeah. I don't buy it. Although I did read about how they're using it to treat PTSD and shit like that, but it's such small, minute doses that you take a little bit a day, that it's just affecting a very small, mild amount of your psyche. Like the walls aren't melting, Smurfs aren't coming out of the corner, nothing like that. So.
Oh, there's one now.
Where's the fun in that?
Yeah, I want more Smurfs.
I miss my Papa Smurf.
I need more Smurf in my life. Next.
Gargamel's after me.
Have you seen this?
Yeah, this is awesome.
Mystery human species identified shakes up the theory of evolution.
Pretty exciting.
It was like it added an extra 400,000 years onto the timeline of what we thought we were already at. Which, like, if you look at like a couple of years ago when they found Göbekli Tepe, which added an extra 6,000 years, and now this is 400,000 on top of that. And it's like, what is going on?
The plot thickens.
Plot thickens, and it stays thick.
Yeah, it's amazing that anything even survives after so much time. So it seems like we're just never going to stop pushing dates further and further back.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if this is the same article, but I just was reading one the other day where they've got a whole nother species. Oh yeah, same thing, right?
Yeah,
and they're crossbreeding with Neanderthals, and they're not sure where the DNA came from. And it looked like maybe it might have been of Asian origin, which not only pushes the date so much further back and adds new species, but these fucking things were traveling across the world, across mountains and oceans and shit, to commingle. Yeah. So it's pretty fucking exciting stuff. Yeah. It's funny you mentioned Göbekli Tepe because I think a lot of people still don't know about it. It's pretty exciting. Like, well, they've got 12,000 years old.
A whole city that was buried, and the dirt that it was buried with was put there on purpose. This isn't evolution and geography that covered this up.
Right,
the sands of the desert didn't cover it up. Humans covered it, and the shovels that were found buried in there and everything. Like,
why the hell did they do that?
Who's hiding this? Like, I feel like maybe.
Can you imagine us being like, you know what, we're done with this place. Let's cover this house in sand and get the fuck out of here.
Bury this whole place and get out. Yeah.
What's your theory on that? Why the hell did they do that?
I think it might have been like because it was such an old place and it was probably known about by everyone. I think like maybe the church came in and covered it up.
They wanted to hide it
because they're like, this kind of goes against everything that we've been telling people about Jesus living and all this shit. Like,
so
2,000 years ago.
So maybe
this kind of throws our timeline off. So let's not kind of hide that and like, oh look, dinosaur bones, hide those too.
or put Adam and Eve next to the dinosaur and then it'll be okay.
Yeah. Throw a Bible next to those dinosaurs.
Pretty fucking fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
That makes me want to go watch Ancient Aliens now.
Where everything's aliens?
Ancient, yeah.
This toothbrush could not have been invented by a human. It had to be aliens.
Yeah.
I like that guy.
I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens. Nobody would build a bird.
This is a Canadian thing that's going on right now. Fear of terrorism being used as a political commodity. So, obviously everywhere. But like we've got like articles that are coming out about like this. They found a hole.
What is the deal with this hole? Why do we keep hearing about the hole?
Well, they found a hole in Toronto.
Near a tennis tournament or some shit like that?
Yeah. I think that was irrelevant to whether the tennis tournament was going on, because they found the people who did it after this article came out.
But is there a problem with building a hole?
Apparently, you're not allowed to build a hole.
What did they build the hole for?
It doesn't
for
say.
Terrorism?
No, had nothing to do with terrorism. But the story came out that there was a hole being built, and all the media immediately jumped on it and said, "Oh, they're building terrorist bunkers. They're going to start blowing shit up." And then they started trying to build a story around it, and they're like, "Well, there's a tennis game going to happen here, and there's going to be some international tennis players coming to this tennis game, and we think that they're going to blow up the tennis game." So people are just fabricating this shit off the top of their head.
That
and
hole
then
must be there to blow up the tennis players.
But when you go on the news at night to the masses of people out there and you start saying shit like that, there's a hole and they're gonna blow up the tennis game. It's like,
that's
there's
what everybody pick up on.
A lot of people are not gonna like read the next article the next day that comes out and says, "Oh, by the way, we were wrong."
Yeah, sorry.
No one reads the retractions.
Nope.
Well, and no one remembers the retractions.
No, on
either.
page A17 the next day, in small print, one paragraph.
Or the week after. But yeah, and it's more than just that. I mean, we had a shooting happen in Ottawa, Ontario recently, where this crazy guy, who someone in my family actually works at like this shelter that deals with the, if you're like a homeless guy, you've been arrested and put through the system, they give you the option. They're like, look, you're gonna go to prison or you're going to this halfway house where you get piss tested every day. They're gonna do Reiki on you. They're gonna do acupuncture on you. They're gonna like do all this cool shit. You're gonna meditate. You're gonna get your life straight. And that's the kind of shit they're going for. And like, there's therapists, registered therapists who are sitting talking with you all day, every day. And this guy was in that system. So he was already in this shelter. And they're treating him for the last month. And then somehow one day he just goes crazy and snaps and wants to run around and shoot. He shoots those soldiers standing by the war memorial, unarmed. He runs up, shoots that guy, and then he runs into the Parliament building, which is across the street. And he ran in there where they all shot him up.
Jesus
and that's
Christ.
the end of it. And we don't ever get to find out what happened. We don't get to find out why. But immediately,
Yeah,
all the media...
some kind of Manchurian candidate or what? Were they brainwashing him the other way around?
Maybe, I don't know. But immediately, the media was just like, oh, it's terrorists. We're under attack.
Terrorism.
Canada under attack. Red alert. Canada is under attack right now as this happens. Red flashing on every screen. You go through every news network on TV, it's just red flashing. Warning, warning. Alert, stay inside. Canada's under attack. Canada's under attack.
Christ.
Nobody go out. Everyone live in fear. It's just like... Wow, it turns out he's just a crazy homeless guy who's had a few just rough kicks in his life. He had no affiliation with anything Muslim, first of all. And they're going, this Muslim terrorist is in Ottawa shooting people up.
Oh my God.
Like the city went on lockdown for whatever, so many times. Next.
Yeah, let's get the tanks rolling. Let's keep this police state on.
Yeah. UN report says small-scale organic farming is the only way to feed the world.
Yeah, and if that's coming from the UN, that's kind of impressive. Huh? You might not expect that coming from them.
No, you wouldn't, with their one world order stuff they're trying to do there.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just getting harder and harder to deny that we shouldn't be doing these large-scale factory farming and spraying shit with fucking pesticides and herbicides and GMOs.
Yeah, maybe they're catching on. They've already known, man.
I love this idea. In fact, in LA, it used to be illegal to plant. You were saying, oh, you can just throw a tomato seed plant, right? Well, a buddy of mine and I, we started Guerrilla Gardeners, and we started trying to do seed bombing.
Okay.
Where you can actually buy, seeds. And
we used to make them back in Halifax. We would get the degradable stuff and put a little pack and put some seeds in and just throw them as you're driving around.
Boom.
We used to throw weed seeds, though.
I love it.
And there'd be weed plants growing all over
That's
the place.
so fucking awesome. Heroic, man. My kind of guy. We tried to do the same thing right up here on Ocean Park. We went up and planted 2 avocado trees.
Oh.
And it was kind of an experiment. We figured it probably wouldn't fly. But it was partly to prove a point to ourselves. And it's like, hey, there's all this public space here. But you got to go to Whole Foods and pay like $10 for a fucking avocado. But they'll grow right here. Look at all this green space. How come we don't have this lined with oranges and avocados and everything else? So we planted 2 avocado trees.
Are they still there?
Right up on Ocean Park. No, they were gone within 3 days. They had been dug up and removed.
Were they like they had already sprouted and everything, right?
They were about 2 feet tall each.
Okay.
So yeah, we had been nursing them in our backyard.
Think about it. Like, there's a hired gardener who comes to do this spot every day, and he comes in. He's like, "What the hell is that?" He's like, "I didn't put that in there.
Exactly.
That doesn't go with my design," and he throws it away.
Exactly. But no, they have somebody's job to come in there and make sure that you're not growing edible food on public space.
Wow. But you said, and I saw you shared an article online there a couple days ago or yesterday, about the law has changed now in LA, and you can start growing on the curbside and everything.
It's high time.
That would be cool.
And I mean that's just a small variation, a spin on this, right?
Yep.
Think globally, act locally. If more people are throwing seeds and growing their own foods, it could make a big difference really fast.
Yeah. Okay. Next, what do you think about that?
They're cute. Yeah. Who are they? I'd like to. Do you know?
No.
Where are they?
They're coming over. They're coming over when we're done the show.
Yeah, your vibe attracts your tribe. I like it.
You like that? Do you think it's true? Do you think it's real? I mean,
I think to a certain degree, yeah. You tend to meet people of your own kind. What is it? Birds of a feather flock together, right?
Yeah.
Over the years, I'd say there's definitely certain people that I avoid and don't become friends with, and you often pleasantly surprise yourself when you meet somebody with like sensibilities and like mind.
Well, I
think we maybe subconsciously gravitate towards each other somehow.
Something I also read about is that sometimes, whether you know it or not, you're here to experience certain things. Like, you've got this checklist in your soul that you got to go through. Yeah. And so you're going to vibrate at a level to attract, like, okay, maybe for some fucked up reason, you're here to experience this misery of knowing some asshole who's a thug who kills people. So then all of a sudden you've got this friend who's like this really cool guy, and you guys are all hanging out, but he turns out to be a thug who kills people, and you're like, what the fuck? How am I involved as a thug who kills people? Like, that's not anything that I would ever vibrate towards. I'm all about not killing people.
So maybe it was part of your learning experience or your growth, your personal growth.
Right, and kind of like
to be exposed to some of the troubles or hardships of the world.
Exactly.
Maybe push you further. Because maybe it's too easy if you're just constantly surrounded by your tribe vibe.
Happiness.
Yeah, it's true. And if you didn't see some of that, what would you have any motivation to want to change it or help people or care?
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Okay, next. These are good. Come on. I like this one. Don't let people pull you into their storm. Pull them into your peace. And now, like, that's a cool thing to say, but my argument is that it's not all black and white in this world.
No, it's certainly not.
There's a lot of gray zones in between. And, I mean, you can't just live in either one, and you can't promote this duality of looking at things all the time, like this black and white, and it's again separation and all about keeping people bickering and fighting with each other. So this all ties back into that kind of shit.
Well said.
It sounds really nice and beautiful of a thing to say, like, yeah, pull them into your peace, but I mean, maybe not pull them all the way in, and maybe let them pull you a little bit into the storm. You guys can live in a little bit of harmony in between.
How about that?
Know?
I like that much better.
Yeah.
I think you've always got to have one foot on both sides.
Yeah.
A little bit. I've always been afraid, like, as soon as I go down the clean path and quit smoking and start joining the gym, I'm going to get hit by a fucking bus. Like, I feel a little bit more comfortable balancing the pros and cons, and keeping more of a balance. I also feel like it helps you to keep a bit of an edge artistically and passionately.
Definitely. Definitely does.
I think I might actually, as much as I agree with everything you're saying, I think I maybe would go nuts if I was around too much peace and happiness.
Yeah.
It seems like it would just get irritating after a while.
Yeah. I don't know. I've lived with a lot of hippies. a lot of hippies. Next, this kid. This is a whole documentary. I'll send you that later. This kid meditated for 10 months under a tree, no food, no water, and then disappeared one night. His brother was selling tickets for people to come and see him, and it kind of blew up, and like thousands of people coagulated all around him to sit and watch the guy who's meditating.
Yeah,
they monitored him.
Incarnation of Buddha.
Is he the next Buddha? Yeah, but then he disappeared. And I mean,
has he never been found again after he disappeared?
Found again, and they believe that the stories they tell about him, they believe he might have like retreated further into the forest, away from all these friggin' people that are always looking at him.
Yeah, maybe
he might have figured out. He might have at first had still like this ego attached, where he's kind of like thinking like, I'm gonna save people, I'm gonna do this thing, and people are gonna come look at me, and then within his meditation might have like realized like, there is no me. What the fuck am I doing? Look at all these people staring at me like, I'm getting out of here. Like,
despite all my meditation, I'm still just a rat in a cage.
I'm still just a dude. I gotta get out of here. And
then he just absorbed into the tree.
Maybe. But they found, it's funny, they found just his clothes. in the little hole in the tree.
Bizarre.
Yeah,
maybe some crazy.
They don't know if
maybe he got extraordinarily renditioned by some crazy mad scientists who want to study how he could do that for 10 months.
That's right. I read an article too a long time ago about another monk they found who lived up in a cave who they claim hasn't eaten or drank anything in like 7 years.
Jesus Christ.
And the dude was just like...
Do you think it's really possible?
Skin and bones. He was like nothing. And all he would do is just meditate in this cave. And like the scientists were like, well, there's a lot of moisture in the cave. So the moisture... through some kind of fucked up osmosis could have gone through his skin and absorbed in through his legs and shit. And then he agreed. They brought him into and studied him in an actual lab. But because of human rights issues, they had to give him so much little thimbles full of little protein drinks or something like that, which he didn't want. He refused, but they had to like force and make him drink this food.
They fucked up his meditation, man.
Yeah. And but the people in the town below this mountain in the cave where this guy lived, they've known about him all these years and talked about him. Yeah, there's a crazy guy meditating up there all these years. Like, yeah, you're full of shit.
Do you think somebody was sneaking him some Gatorade every now and then up there?
Yeah, a little bit of vitamin water.
Yeah.
50-cent vitamin water.
Yeah, color purple, right? What do you think? Do you think it's possible that dude's really doing that?
Really living...
I mean, going without food for 10 months or 7 years?
Well, this puts into question the whole idea if we actually need to eat as much as we think we need to eat, as much as forced on... Look at TV. Every second ad is a food ad.
Yep.
And it makes you really hungry. You want to go out and be a good little consumer and eat and then go shit it out and then eat some more and shit it out. Maybe we don't need to eat as much as we do. I mean, if we want to, like, live in this 3D world of violence and hate, we need muscles and we need to get bigger and we need to, like, be in this 3D world more. When you're more of a spiritual meditating guy, like I said, he was skin and bones. He couldn't fight his way out of a paper bag to save his life. So it's like, kind of like, again, about the balance on both sides. You want to go all the way in or you want to go all the way out? So you want to go kind of in between. It's like
maybe a little bit of both.
But maybe it's a conspiracy. Maybe we don't need to eat all this food that we're eating. Maybe I only need to eat like a sandwich a day.
That's what I've been down to lately. 1 meal a day. I don't buy that whole fucking eat either.
Like meals,
and I've never been a morning person either. And ever since I was a kid, it's always like breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And
no
it's like,
fucking way it is.
I don't know. I never eat breakfast.
Well, I eat 2 eggs.
I don't eat my first meal until around lunchtime, and I usually eat a late lunch, and that's often it. But I've also always thought eating smaller quantities throughout the day instead of isolated big meals is probably better for your body also. But I couldn't agree with you more that I think we overeat.
Yeah.
I know I've been overeating. I'm trying to undo it.
I'm trying to still get rid of this fucking belly fat here.
Trying to undo it.
Yeah, but like, ever since I started working out, I've been eating 2 or 3 eggs every morning since 2010. I haven't missed a day. 2 or 3 eggs every day.
Is that it? Just eggs and nothing
else? Just 2, 3 eggs. That's it. And then go to the gym. That gives you enough energy to do what you
hard boil them, or you scramble them, or sunny side up?
Fucking everything, dude.
You mix it up a little bit.
No, every day I do something different. Eggs are so gross and boring now. I'm just like, bleh. Eggs again. Here we go. I just gotta psych myself out.
So why is it the eggs? Did one of your trainers tell you to go for that? Or
not just the protein in it. I find it gives me a really good boost, and I go in there. If I don't have 3 eggs, I've gone. Like I tried it, and then I had to eat it when I got back. But I went and tried. I couldn't lift anything. I was just like weak as fuck. Like and I find smoking weed too helps before going to the gym. Like get really blunted, because that whole saying about no pain, no gain. Well, what if you could have the gain without the pain? And that's where you're at with the weed. So your weed goes in, your brain just like blocks you out, and you're just like, just like go right through it. You're like, oh, look at that. I did my 10 reps. Really, I don't care. Like, you just don't care about it. Like, whatever.
Yeah, is everybody in that Gold's Gym smoking out?
I think so. Yeah.
It is Venice, after all.
Yes, it is. All right. CERN is going to attempt the Big Bang in March. Stephen Hawking has issues. Now, here's a funny thing. I was listening to a podcast, and they interviewed one of the lead scientists of CERN, who started shitting on Stephen Hawking and calling him like a one-theory hack, and like really cutting him up, and to the point where the buddy hosting the podcast had to cut it off. He's like, okay, like we're gonna go now. And the buddy's freaking out, and he's like some, like Swedish scientist or something like that with an accent and everything. Oh, that's Stephen Hawking. He's a big fucking hack, and saying, calling him right out, fuck words and everything.
Wow.
And I'm like, whoa. these are the people running the science place at CERN. But
that's crazy.
So Stephen Hawking's been online lately,
and
talking
you know
about how we're
is,
going to bring about the end of the world.
Neil Tyson deGrasse was saying the same thing, isn't he?
About CERN?
Yeah, warning that they're putting...
That they could screw some shit up?
Yeah.
Open a wormhole that might swallow us whole?
Yeah. Create a big-ass fucking black hole.
Here's the funny thing about black holes. We could be... Sorry, folks. We totally just ran out of space. Show's over. Alright, folks. Dr. J signing off. It's been a great adventure here with Asa Zimbabwe.
Thanks for having me, Jay.
Word, man.
Good to see you. Cool. Take care, everybody out there.
Bye, everyone.